What do you need to train your dog? What kind of equipment is going to make training your dog most effective and most rewarding? We're going to cover that in this video. I want to cover some of the most important things you'll need to train your dog that's going to make training fun for both you and your dog. For a dog to train, the dog has to be what's called biddable. It means he has to want to interact. He's going to have to want to work for something, and that is going to be something that we call a reward. The reward can be a toy, some treats. You'll need a collar to control your dog and give your dog information. All the information that we give our dog transfers from our mind to our hands to the leash to the collar. Collar's got to be on the dog. You'll also need a leash. That can be a long line when you're starting the beginning training with your dog, or it can be a regular 4-foot or 6-foot leash. When using a reward, you can use one of two things, actually one of three things I should say. You can use a toy, a ball, a tug, or any toy that your dog enjoys working with. You can use treats, something your dog enjoys eating, and this is always going to be easier to use if your dog has a good appetite. In other words, if your dog hasn't eaten the meal before, you'll use food as a reward. And the third thing you can use to reward your dog is going to be your voice or praise. That will always be the ultimate reward. Praise and affection will be the reward that your dog will love most. When you want to decide between the reward you're going to use to train your dog, you're going to want to think about it in this way. Food will keep the dog coming back. In other words, if I ask Goofy to do something, Goofy, here, good, sits, good, yeah, good boy. And I say, Goofy, here, good. Good boy, right? Goofy, here. Good boy, yeah. In other words, I keep him coming back each time for another piece of food. So when I'm doing marking in the beginning and I'm doing luring in the beginning, I want to do multiple rewards. I want to repeat it over and over, and I want to keep the dog engaged. What's going to happen here, the way that's going to work most successfully is to use a treat. So that means I can lure the dog, I can put him in that position, then I can lure him out of that position, and I can lure him back into that position, and I get multiple repetitions. I've used 2 treats so far. So if I want to tell him down, good, sits, good, stay, good, down, I give him the treat, right? Sits, good, I give him the treat. Stay, good, and I give him the treat. So I've now done 3, 4, 5 different things with a couple treats, and I kept the dog engaged the entire time. Now watch what's going to be the difference when I go into a toy. The advantage to the toy will be the toy will bring the dog's drive up monumentally. But the consequence of using the toy is I don't get multiple repetitions. So in other words, if I say to Goofy, Goofy plots, and I say, yeah, good boy, he takes the toy, he's going to run around with it, and then he's going to come back, and now he's going to expect me to play with him. Good boy. Oh, what a good boy. What a good boy. Aus. Now I have to get the toy away from the dog and start again. So now when I repeat the exercise, I say, Goofy, foos. Good. And now if I want to reward him, I say, yeah, good boy. He takes the toy, he runs away, he comes back, and we play. But I don't get the repetition out of the dog. So this will give you better drive, better energy, and more willingness to comply. But when you first start out, the best thing is going to be to use a reward like treats or food, because you'll keep the dog coming back and keep the dog engaged constantly. The third reward will be praise, and I always withhold praise until the very, very end, or I should say the affection of praise until the very, very end. My praise will be consistent. Aus? If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and head over to my channel at robertcabral.com for all the best dog training available anywhere. So in other words, if I ask my dog to do something, whether I'm using a treat or a toy, I'll always praise the dog and mark the dog. So for example, if I say, heel, as soon as he gets in position, oh, good boy, there's my praise, and then the reward comes from the treat, right? Good, here, good boy, there's my praise, that's the mark, and then he gets the reward. Praise, reward, praise, reward, praise, reward, praise, reward. That reward shows him that the praise is actually a good thing. Heel. Good. Now at the end, when I want to wrap up, when I want to, what I call jackpot, and a lot of people do a jackpot with multiple food rewards, like just rewarding food and food and food and food. My jackpot is always going to be affection. So in other words, if I tell the dog to do something a little bit more complicated, like Goofy, through, good, through, 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 through. Now watch my jackpot, through. Yeah, good boy, what a good boy. That's what I'm gonna say. Goofy, what you got there? What you got there? And we're gonna get the praise. Good boy, yeah. And now the affection of the praise is gonna be all the more fun and the more better, because here we're praising the dog, we're giving him affection, but this affection here, you're seeing how it's jacking the dog up. Like, good boy, what a good boy, what a good boy. This affection kind of really pumps the dog up to such a high level that it's hard for him to come back and start doing the obedience again. This is where I want to put him away. This is where I want him to know I did it, it's over, that exercise is done, and I've succeeded. Using a line, especially a long line to train your dog, gives the dog a connection to you, and it prevents the dog from failing. What I don't ever do is I don't ever put a line on a dog here and start yanking the dog around, because this makes the line consequential and it makes the line negative. Instead, what I do is I give the dog lots of room and lots of space and give the dog information through the line that brings the dog back to me. So if I say here, 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 nope, here, 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 good, here. In other words, this line is now preventing my dog from failing. If my dog, give you a great example, if I say sit and I've got the line, now he's gonna break on this, and watch how I can correct him. Sit, nope, and I give him that correction, that prevented him from failing. So the leash or the long line is going to be super important for you to help your dog to learn. Without this negative, without this correction, the dog runs to the ball, and he and I now have a battle to get the ball back and to tell him he wasn't supposed to do that. So if he sees the ball, he gets the ball and self-rewards by breaking and going to the ball. We have a battle, and you don't want that battle with your dog. You want the dog to win through success. Dogs learn through success. Humans oftentimes will learn more through failure. So if I tell my dog sit and I throw it, good. Foos. Good. The dog is now compliant. So now if I walk the dog around, I go here, heel. Good. Good. The dog won't break to the object. Yes. Now he gets it, and I can teach him here. Bring it here, bring it here. Good boy. And he sees that here's going to get the reward. I prevent him from failing every time. So the line and the collar give your dog the information that's coming through your hand. So you're thinking the information, sits. Good. Sits. Good. I could correct him here if I needed to, or if I want to get him really in a position where he'll break. Sits. Nope. I give him that information, right? I can correct him here. I can also give him correction at a longer distance here using a long line. Platz, sitz, steh, Platz, sitz, steh, Platz, sitz, steh, sitz, steh, Platz. Good boy, yes. So in that sequence, I kind of set him up to make some mistakes. I tapped him for the no, tapped him for the negative, tapped him for the negative, and it also prevented him from getting to the point of the ball. So train your dog. Whatever you do, train your dog, because in training your dog, you will build a relationship with him that you cannot attain through anything else. Just simply playing with your dog is fun, but training your dog teaches them a communication, a way to interact with you through structured interaction and through rewarding interaction. Make training fun, keep it short, and give your dog the best life possible.